What do Beyoncé, Michelle Obama, and a few terrifyingly rich African first ladies have in common? They don't just share designer handbags. They share power, influence, and bank accounts that could buy a small island before brunch. These aren't the wives of. These are empires with last names. From pop icons to political titans, today we're diving into the 20 most powerful black wives in the world. Women who prove that love might be blind. But the money? Oh, it sees everything. Let's go. Number 20. Shante Broadus. When your husband is Snoop Dogg, you could just chill on the couch with a glass of wine and call it a career. But not Shante Broadus. She looked at the dog father and said, "That's cute. Now where's the paperwork?" She's the brains behind Boss Lady Entertainment, runs fashion and TV projects, and manages Snoop's brand like a CEO with a PhD in chill. She's worth around $5 million, and that's before counting the stress management fees from babysitting Snoop's business empire and his blunt schedule. From love to legacy, Shantae's proof that behind every successful man is a woman who probably sent the email reminder. And speaking of family empires, number 19 traded rap verses for runway sales and built a brand from kicks to cash. Number 19. Angela Simmons' Rev Run's daughter didn't just inherit the family name. She turned it into a fashion franchise. Angela co-founded Pastry Footwear, a sneaker line that exploded into pop culture faster than you can say Run's house. Add TV, fame, fashion lines, and influencer deals, and you've got a net worth of $7 million. All while raising her son and running multiple businesses. She turned preacher's daughter into entrepreneur with better shoes than you. Because apparently, faith without fashion sense is dead. But if Angela built her kingdom in sneakers, the next woman's power pair is less Nike, more navy blue and White House official. Let's talk Kamala Harris, number 18. Kamala Harris, Madam Vice President herself. And let's be real, Kamala doesn't just break glass ceilings. She walks over them in pearls. She and her husband, attorney Douglas Emhoff, have a combined net worth of $8 million, built from book deals, real estate, and careers that scream power couple. Her memoir, The Truths We Hold, hit bestseller lists. Their homes in San Francisco, LA, and DC hit Zillow envy. She's got policies by day, properties by night. And that's what we call a balanced portfolio. So yeah, Kamala might not flex with designer handbags, because it's hard to hold one when you're carrying the country. But from politics to philanthropy, our next queen turned trauma into triumph, and then turned that into a multi-million-dollar empire. Number 17. Eudoxie Bridges, Eudoxie's story. It's the plot of every started-from-nothing movie, except hers comes with ludicrous credits and luxury cars. Born in Gabon, she survived poverty and abuse before moving to the US at 15. She didn't just survive, she thrived. Now, she's a philanthropist, author, and motivational powerhouse worth around $10 million. Her book Unspoken Angel and her Foundation for Women's Empowerment show she's not just living the dream, she's funding it for others. And yes, she and Ludacris got engaged and married the same day. Because apparently, when you know, you know. And when you're rich, you can schedule the wedding for 4 p.m. and dinner for 6. But from motivation to music, our next powerhouse doesn't just level up. She redefines the game entirely. Number 16. Kiara Wilson. Let's be honest, Kiara didn't just level up. She leveled the whole playing field. Singer, dancer, business mogul, NFL royalty. She and Russell Wilson are the couple equivalent of Wi-Fi and electricity. Essential. She owns Beauty Marks Entertainment, co-founded Why Not You Productions, and even co-owns part of Seattle Sounders FC. Her personal net worth sits around $20 million, and that's before you count Russell's Super Bowl money. Kiara's secret: she turned her hits into holdings. From studio sessions to soccer stadiums, she's proof that when love and business mix, the only thing that fumbles is your jaw. And if you think that's impressive, Wait till you meet the next queen, a woman who brought presidential elegance to the beauty industry while making her own millions. Number 15. Aisha Buhari. When your husband is the president of Nigeria, most people expect you to just wave from the balcony and smile. But Aisha Buhari said, "Nah, I've got a beauty empire to run." Before stepping into the First Lady spotlight, Aisha was already a cosmetologist, beauty therapist, and author. She founded Hansi Spa and Hansi Beauty Institute, both luxury sanctuaries for the wealthy elite of Abuja and Kaduna. Her book, Essentials of Beauty Therapy, even got approved for Nigeria's national education curriculum. Translation: the woman literally turned glow-ups into government policy. She's estimated to be worth around $20 million, proving that you can manage both a nation's image and your own skincare line at the same time. And while Aisha was teaching presidents how to exfoliate, our next mogul was teaching the world how to sip power by the glass. Number 14. Selina Cuff. Selina Cuff turned a casual trip to a South African wine festival into a billion-dollar idea. She and her husband, Karega Cuff, co-founded Heritage Link Brands, now the largest importer of black-produced wine in the world. She's not just pouring drinks, she's pouring opportunity. With degrees from Stanford and Harvard, and a resume that includes Procter & Gamble and United Airlines, Selina mixed business sense with a taste for revolution. Vintage style. Today, she's one of the leading voices in diversifying the global wine industry, and her story's proof that the glass ceiling is meant to be shattered, preferably with a corkscrew. But speaking of class and couture, the next woman didn't just marry a comedian. She became the punchline's paycheck. Number 13. Marjorie Harvey. You know Steve Harvey, right? The jokes, the suits, the mustache that has its own zip code. Well, meet the woman who turned him from funny to financially unstoppable. Marjorie Harvey is a fashion icon, lifestyle blogger, and entrepreneur who runs The Lady Loves Couture, a luxury blog where she teaches elegance like it's an Olympic sport. She launched her own fashion lines, MH Handbags and MH Closets, and helped co-found the Steve and Marjorie Harvey Foundation, supporting underprivileged youth. Her net worth? Around $50 million. Basically, she looked at Steve and said, "You host Family Feud. I'll host Generational Wealth. And if you thought that's impressive, wait till you hear about a First Lady who went from Chicago's South Side to Netflix stardom." And didn't stop there. Number 12. Michelle Obama. Before she became America's sweetheart, Michelle LaVaughn Robinson Obama was that overachieving law student who made Harvard look easy. She grew up on the South Side of Chicago, graduated from Princeton and Harvard Law, and worked at one of the top firms in the country, where she met some guy named Barack. Fast forward through 8 years of the White House glow-up, a $65 million joint book deal, and a Netflix partnership worth another $50 million. And Michelle's net worth now floats around $70 million. Her memoir, Becoming, sold more than 17 million copies worldwide. And honestly, if you can sell that many books after spending 8 years living rent-free in the White House, you deserve every cent. But if Michelle's empire is about inspiration, our next queen built hers on innovation, and a face that defined fashion itself. Number 11. Iman Abdul Majid. When you hear supermodel, you probably think of someone tall, fierce, and photogenic. Now imagine that person also running a cosmetics empire and being married to David Bowie. Yeah, that's Iman. Born in Somalia, raised in Kenya, discovered by photographer Peter Beard, Iman became one of the most iconic models of the 1970s and 80s. But she didn't stop at posing for Vogue. In 1994, she launched Iman Cosmetics, a line created specifically for women of color. And it blew up globally. Her business and investments, combined with her late husband's estate, bring her net worth to around $200 million. She broke barriers, made beauty inclusive, and proved that being someone's muse can also mean being your own boss. But if you think modeling was glamorous, wait till you see what happens when cocoa, commerce, and Cameroon collide. Number 10 is about to turn chocolate into a power move. Number 10. Kamala Harris, Madam Vice President herself. And let's be real, Kamala doesn't just break glass ceilings, she walks over them in pearls. She and her husband, attorney Douglas Emhoff, have a combined net worth of $8 million, built from book deals, real estate, and careers that scream power couple. Her memoir, The Truths We Hold, hit bestseller lists. Their homes in San Francisco, LA, and DC hit Zillow envy. She's got policies by day, properties by night. And that's what we call a balanced portfolio. So yeah, Kamala might not flex with designer handbags, because it's hard to hold one when you're carrying the country. But from politics to philanthropy, our next queen turned trauma into triumph, and then turned that into a multi-million-dollar empire. Number 9. Serena Williams. There are athletes, and then there's Serena Jamaica Williams, who didn't just dominate tennis. She redefined winning. 23 Grand Slam titles, $95 million in prize money, and a business portfolio that screams Queen of both courts. She's married to Alexis Ohanian, the co-founder of Reddit, and together they form one of the most powerful duos on the planet. Serena co-owns Los Angeles Golf Club, runs a venture capital firm, Serena Ventures, and has equity in more than 60 startups. Her estimated worth? Around $345 million. She's proof that you can go from smashing tennis balls to smashing glass ceilings, and cashing every check in between. And while Serena swings rackets and investments, our next powerhouse built a billion-dollar business, starting with $1,500 and a whole lot of faith. Number 8. Janice Bryant Howroyd. This woman didn't just open a company. She opened doors. Janice Bryant Howroyd founded the ACT. One group in 1978 with $1,500, $900 of which came from her mother. Today, it's a global staffing empire operating in 33 countries, employing over 2,600 people and serving 17,000 clients. Her current net worth is estimated at $600 million, and she holds the title of the first African-American woman to build and own a billion-dollar company. She's living proof that you can go from, "Can I get a job?" to "I'll give you one." And though her husband Bernard passed away in 2020, Janice never slowed down. Because her business isn't just a legacy, it's a movement. But while Janice conquered the corporate world, Number 7 conquered the entire planet, literally. Her name needs no introduction, but we'll do it anyway. Number 7. Beyoncé Knowles Carter. You didn't think we'd skip the Queen, did you? Beyoncé is a one-woman economy, a singer, entrepreneur, and cultural force with a net worth of roughly $800 million, married to none other than Jay-Z, who's worth over $2 billion. Her 2023 Renaissance tour alone grossed nearly $579 million, breaking records for the highest-earning tour by a black artist. She owns Parkwood Entertainment, Ivy Park, and invests in everything from fashion brands to wellness companies. And let's be real. When Beyoncé performs, she doesn't just fill stadiums, she boosts local GDPs. Her fans spend an average of $1,900 per show on tickets, travel, and merch. That's not a tour, that's economic policy with choreography. But if Beyoncé's empire is dazzling, our next queen turned oil, yes, literal crude oil, into her personal fountain of fortune. Number 6. Hajia Bola Shagaya. They call her the Queen of Commerce, and for good reason. Hajia Bola Shagaya started as an auditor at Nigeria's central bank before building a multi-sector empire spanning oil, real estate, banking, and photography. She founded Bolmus Group International, a conglomerate that touches everything from energy to fashion. She also introduced Konica photographic materials to the West African market, basically monetizing the art of looking good. Her estimated net worth is $950 million, and her influence extends into politics, finance, and philanthropy. She's not just in Nigeria's elite circle, she probably owns the circle. But if Bola's story is power through business, the next one is legacy through lineage, and her family tree practically runs a country. Number 5. Ngina Kenyatta, known lovingly as Mama Ngina. She's not just Kenya's former First Lady, she's the original boss lady of East Africa. Widow of the nation's founding president Jomo Kenyatta, and mother of former President Uhuru Kenyatta, Mama Ngina is a walking dynasty. Her family's empire stretches from banking to media, hospitality, and real estate. She holds major stakes in NCBA Group, one of East Africa's largest financial institutions, plus media outlets like K24 TV and Kameme Radio under MediaMax Network Limited. Her estimated net worth, around $1 billion. And that's conservative. She doesn't just influence Kenya's economy. She is part of it. And while her sons run politics, Mama Ngina's quietly collecting dividends like she's harvesting mangoes on a Sunday afternoon. But if the Kenyattas rule Kenya, our next queen built an empire that spanned entertainment, luxury resorts, and billion-dollar TV deals. Number 4. Sheila Crump Johnson. Some people create shows. Sheila Johnson created black entertainment television. Alongside her then-husband, Robert L. Johnson, she co-founded BET in 1979, giving black culture its first mainstream media platform. When they sold BET to Viacom in 2001 for $3 billion, Sheila walked away richer and hungrier. Her net worth now stands at about $1 billion, thanks to her luxury resort chain, Salamander Hotels and Resorts, spanning from Virginia to Jamaica. She's also a part owner of 3 major sports teams: the Washington Capitals, NHL, the Washington Wizards, NBA, and the Washington Mystics, WNBA. Oh, and in case that wasn't enough flexing, she married a judge in 2005, because apparently, success just looks better in legal robes. But while Sheila conquered screens and sports, the next woman drilled her way to $1 billion, literally. Number 3. Folorunsho Alakija. If you've ever wondered what happens when elegance meets oil rigs, meet Folorunsho Alakija. She began as a fashion designer, running Supreme Stitches, later Rose of Sharon, dressing Nigeria's elite in haute couture. But when she shifted into oil exploration with her company Famfus Oil, everything changed. Her company secured a lucrative license for the Agbame field, one of Nigeria's richest oil blocks, and her wealth skyrocketed. Today, she's estimated at $1 billion, making her one of Africa's richest women. She also runs Dayspring Property Development and Rose of Sharon Foundation, which supports widows and orphans. She's not just dripping in oil, she's drenched in purpose. Because while others see black gold, she saw divine investment strategy. And yet, if you think $1 billion is impressive, the next woman and her husband turned their fortune into a mission and signed a pledge to give half of it away. Number 2. Dr. Precious Moloi Motsepe, doctor, philanthropist, fashion entrepreneur, billionaire. Dr. Precious Moloi Motsepe is the First Lady of South African wealth, married to mining magnate Patrice Motsepe, Africa's first black billionaire. Before the glitz, she was a physician specializing in women's and children's health. Then she co-founded the Motsepe Foundation, dedicated to eradicating poverty and uplifting communities. Together they joined the Giving Pledge, promising to donate half their wealth to charity. Because when your fortune's worth $2.9 billion, you can afford to be generous and fashionable. She's also the founder of African Fashion International, bringing African couture to the global stage, turning the runway into a revolution. Dr. Precious proves that power isn't just about money. It's about meaning. But even generosity bows to the woman sitting at number 1. A billionaire so controversial, so influential, and so untouchable that even Interpol can't steal her spotlight. Number 1. Isabel dos Santos. Say hello to Isabel dos Santos, Africa's former richest woman and the daughter of Angola's late president, José Eduardo dos Santos. For years, Isabel's empire stretched across telecoms, banking, and energy, with assets in companies like Unitel, Banco BIC, and Galp Energia. Her net worth once peaked at around $3 billion, making her the undisputed queen of African wealth. But her story took a sharp turn. Allegations of corruption, frozen assets in Angola, and an international arrest warrant from Interpol. And yet, she's still living luxuriously in Dubai, running businesses from afar, and proving that some empires don't crumble. They just change their postal address. Love her or hate her, Isabel dos Santos remains a symbol of ambition, legacy, and the fine line between power and controversy. So what do these women teach us? That power doesn't come from who you marry. It comes from what you build once you're there. From cocoa to couture, politics to philanthropy, they're proof that behind every power couple headline is usually just one very powerful woman calling the shots. If you enjoyed this dive into the world's most powerful black wives, hit that like button, subscribe, and let's keep uncovering the minds and the money, shaping our world. Because if these women can rewrite the rules of wealth and influence, what's stopping you from writing the next chapter?